たのは
What's up? I'm Hugz. That's Sam. Welcome to a Patreon exclusive video that is somewhat going to be edited maybe on YouTube, but you're getting to watch the whole thing on Patreon. If you're watching on YouTube, I mean, you get to see part of it. But welcome to Hugz and Sam.
My neck just cracked.
We've been wanting to do a silent voice for a very long time.
Ever since we watched
Kimi no Nawa.
Yeah.
Your Name.
Yeah. That people were like going crazy saying, "Oh my god, you've got to watch a silent voice."
It was the first anime movie we'd ever watched.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about it for a while because I was like, I've always heard of ones like Ponyo and like Spirited Away and Princess
I've never even heard of
Mononoke, I
those.
think is one of them. I know like I've seen the characters because I've seen like plushes and stuff of like this one thing that kind of looks like if a rabbit was a monster or something.
Yeah, from this.
No, from those. It's like Studio Ghibli or something like that.
Okay.
There's like a bunch. I think Ponyo, Spirited Away, and Princess Mononoke are all like from like the same that studio. Like I don't know if they're related or if they're just made by the same people. But anyway, those are the other anime movies I want to watch.
Yeah.
But everybody was talking about silent voice. I'd never heard of this.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this is about. Former class bully reaches out to deaf girl he tormented in grade school. Okay, I get that. That's relatable.
I mean that's really relatable because there's
being bullied.
Yeah.
Not being a bully, but being bullied.
Yeah. So, I'm excited just mainly because of the hype. People have hyped the crap out this movie.
Well, I mean, for me, the biggest thing is that Your Name like completely blew me away.
Oh yeah.
It was such
If
it
you
was.
haven't seen that reaction, you'll have to go see it because
I wasn't sure
We were both crying.
what to expect. We had played a video game, and that was the first time I think I ever cried at something that was like, what was it? To the Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I've cried at like maybe Toy Story or something like that. Don't judge. But do you get what I'm saying? Like normally I think like you have to be attached to these like characters in these movies, and then I'm like the more that we've watched anime shows.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like,
you can definitely get attached to animated characters.
Well, yeah. Well, when
I never understood that.
Well, as I was saying, you gotta think like when we started this channel, I'd watch very little animated as far as like animes, and you'd watch none.
Yeah.
So
I thought
it's
it was
like
dumb.
our experience through the channel has completely changed everything. I like that you looked like you had derpy ass for a second. But anyway, because this is one of our Patreon movie reactions, we are more chill in these. It's a little more laid back. It's a little more like whatever because it's like a long 2 hour and 10-minute video.
And it's really cold in here, so I got a
so
blankie.
I have a shirt. You saw my armpit for like a second because I have a sleeveless shirt to this. But anyway, exclusive armpit. But so excited to check it out. Hoping that I don't bawl as bad as I did.
Yeah.
For Your Name. Because
I hope you do because it's always like really cool whenever we cry because people love it.
People love our pain.
I know.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. See
Sadists.
why we're crying today.
今までお世話になりました。全部で3万くらいっすね。
Quits his job, takes up all his. Okay. I get a vibe like he's gonna kill himself.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, snap. Oh, what the heck?
She's so cute.
She is.
This is my backpack. I brought it for showing. Up to this point, they're just like, this is like performance art. I was like, how is she supposed to know what the teacher is saying?
That's what I was wondering. Shouldn't she have some type of special, like...
Well, like, when we had anybody that had any kind of, like, visual, like, needed an aid or something, you know, like visual impairment or hearing impairment, I know for one of my classes, we had, it was like a student, teacher, whatever thing.
Like an aid.
But she would translate. Like, she would
like
do
sign.
sign language.
Yeah.
She would sign for him. And then, like, they would be able to have conversation or whatever and do their own thing. But it's like, she walked in and he's just like, introduce yourself.
Like,
and
does
then
he
she
not
just
know?
stood there for a while. I mean, she did the whole thing. Like,
I wonder if that's how he found out, too.
but even still, how's she getting it now? It seems like you know?
Like, I think she might can read some lips or something,
But he was turned around right
not
on the
well
board.
enough. Yeah. See, I wonder if it's just like a thing, like,
Just get over it because
Yeah.
it's a movie.
Yeah. But even still, I don't know. Maybe it's like something in like the difference of culture from us than them, you know? I don't know.
I don't know. I just would wonder how she would be able to learn anything
I wonder
from the lecture.
How do they handle like
These situations. But
in
there was
schools?
numerous classes I had. You know, I had some people that I had class with that just had like a hearing impairment, like they weren't deaf. So they
Right.
had like, there was like a machine or something that they wore that I think just amplified everything or whatever.
Yeah.
But we also had quite a few students that were deaf that had like signers or I don't know if it's if you say translator for that, but like
Right.
you know,
We had
an assistant that signed to them.
we've had like people too in my school where like there was someone that couldn't see and they had an aide with them every day. So
I don't know. But again, it's a movie. Get over it.
yeah.
Just whatever. It is what it is.
He's always picking on this dude.
But they seem like they're like besties. Huh?
Yeah.
Turd glasses. That's the best. That's my new go-to insult. She doesn't even know that he's like doing this too. You know what I mean?
No, it's so messed up.
That was so sad.
I know.
私を覚えます石田やりすぎだってそうこんなもんっしょ
So who is Sahara-san? Why did they make them
I don't
disappear?
know.
Because her name was like
Is he-
Show something, right?
That's her nickname.
What is her actual name? Is that
Nishimiya is her real name.
Okay, so who's Sahara-san?
I don't know. I guess it's the girl that wanted to learn sign language, maybe? But why would she have made her disappear?
I thought that was a little boy that was learning with her.
This teacher needs to do something more.
Don't. He's gonna throw it out the damn window. He's gonna throw it out the damn window. The teacher should be doing something about this.
Yeah.
Like this is beyond being a bully. Like this is.
Yeah.
She's freaking apologizing. Oh my gosh, she just wants to be his friend so bad.
マジかよ西宮さんこれはやばいなじゃあなしようよまた明日
Oh, did they used to pick on him?
お前だろうが
Damn.
早く食べようら
Alright, turd glasses, there you go.
Wow, they're all throwing him onto the bus for it, and they haven't been as
They all
bad,
had
but
parts of it.
西宮さんとこ行くから支度しなさい
so
Wait,
I'm kind
so-
of confused on how the timing of this has gone because
I thought that was a flashback of him going
Yeah.
into the water.
yeah, and because it showed him thinking of his mom when they mentioned how expensive the the hearing aids are. And her like cutting hair, and I was thinking he was like worried that she wasn't gonna be able to like afford to replace them or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's like, and I was like, oh, did he get bullied by them previously, and that's why they're
Why
doing
he's
this?
become a bully.
Yeah, that's confusing. Okay. Is she cleaning? Did they write stuff on?
何やってたんだよ気持ち悪い何言ってんだよ
Damn, this has got me almost a couple times here already. I'm like chilling out, but
西宮さんが転校しました
Transfer to another school. Oh.
I'm just waiting for the inevitable
But
like
they're
you
gonna,
me
like-
friend thing again.
Yeah, they're gonna like fall in love or something. and it's gonna save his life. Bet. She crying.
泣かないでよ西宮
Oh.
This is a good ass movie.
Yeah, it is.
This is a good ass movie.
そうちゃん
Just saying. And we're only like a
な
half
んで仕
hour
事
in.
したの？
あ
Oh, okay.
いやまあこれでもいろいろあったの
Yeah.
おい聞いてんのかこら。
Oh.
何バカなこと
バカはあんたよこの親子の。
He was like imagining her with like the bleeding ear, like.
But it was like her earring had been ripped out.
Yeah, but it looked like.
It maybe just triggered it, but I think her
don't know.
earring had been ripped out.
Yeah, but like that.
There's a lot of weird shit going on right now.
Yeah, but that
I don't-
imagery is the same as
Yeah.
when he did that to her.
Yeah.
This is what anxiety feels like all the time, like freaking social
Yeah.
anxiety, like every day. He needs to stick up for this kid. He needs to stick up for this kid.
うるせえよお前貸すよ
Aww.
マジ神じゃん
Did he go find his bike? I thought it was just his bike. None of the people at the girls' school, I can't say her name, Nishimiya or whatever, none of them have the X on their face.
Oh yeah, they didn't.
So I'm like, why specifically just these people, even the ones that are being nice to him?
Yeah, maybe it's because history with them.
Because you would think it's what they think of him.
And his mom and I guess little sister didn't
Yeah.
have that.
Well, and you would think, oh, it's the people who think negative of him are the ones with the X's. But that one girl wasn't having it at all. That shut him down at the door and said he was a rat, but she didn't have an X.
Yeah.
But also, well, he was looking at her. I was going to say he wasn't looking at her, but he was looking at her when he talked to her at the door.
おいそれ
Oh, that's awesome!
長塚君つべこべ言わずに出せやおら長塚君取ってきたよ親友にありがちだろ
Oh my
ク
god.
ソの友達はクソ
The
だ
turd's fresh as a turd
こ
head.
のうんこやろ。
西宮やっぱそれ甘じ
Because he wrote like mean stuff in there.
Oh, into the water.
You're gonna jump in the dang water again.
待って西宮西野君の代わりなんで
See, I have this weird thing in my head. Still was like laying like she just relaxed. I have this weird thing that she killed herself. And like something about the river and like cuz he's like, "Oh, just jumped in the river again." And then he wanted to jump off the bridge and everything, and like there's a lot of imagery of like the water and them feeding the fish and him jumping in the water and her, you know, like them pushing each other, or him like her going in the water and then him getting pushed in the water.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because like these other people are watching them.
See,
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm just waiting for some like weird shock like thing, because there's been weird issues with time. There's been like odd, you know, like
Odd
circumstances and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean,
with,
I
like,
feel that way too. I think maybe we're thinking too much about your name and how like there was something deeper in there, you know, that was like, what the F, you know?
I don't know.
But maybe like this could just be that they're, you know,
Yeah.
they're just two people.
I think
that
it's
are
all
gonna
that
get
just
together.
that first flashback has just messed us up.
Yeah.
Like it really,
But I do
like,
feel like there's something up with
there's
like.
something. There's something going on.
But I'm trying not to like think too
Read
much
too
about
much into
it
it.
because it's like it could
But
just
then
be
again,
that they're gonna end up together.
I like to say the things that are going on in my mind. That's the whole.
Yeah.
That's what I like when I watch stuff. So that's why I say stuff when I'm watching stuff.
Yeah.
It may be a crazy theory, or there might be someone out there be like, "Oh, that would have been really cool," or something. You know, if that would have been what it is, even though we're like off base or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting. I'm waiting for something.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
もう西宮を泣かせたくないって思っただけで君たちの間を邪魔するつもりはないからそれはないから妹さん
See,
I said it was a little girl. I
thought it was a little girl too.
は
So that was made Sahara disappear, and that is that person.
小学校
Who?
That is that That's the one that wanted to learn the sign language.
Yeah.
That's Sahara, and they said something about from elementary school. So why did they disappear? Well, that was who that was.
Right. That's who I was thinking it was.
いや俺そういえば胸元大きくなったよね。何カップだろう。どうしたの？
She got him a gift.
くれるの？ありがとう。
What? Oh, no, that was freaking terrible, dude. I mean, like, what the heck?
He doesn't even realize what he did, you know?
Yeah.
あんたのことが嫌い。
Damn.
今でも私はあんたが嫌いだし、あんたも私が嫌い。
This is also creepy.
The dead
The
birds.
Yuzu records. That's the
Granny.
grandmother.
How much time passed?
I
She was
don't
just
know.
cuddling in bed with her.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Wow. I want her to like hold his hand. He pretty much explains what she says when she signs, and the fact that he struggles with the translation of what she says. Like when she specifically says something, like he doesn't get her exact meaning, and the fact that he struggles with what he's saying too, like how he said together, like it just kind of makes sense how it's portrayed in here. Like everything that she says, he explains if it needs explanation. You get what I'm saying?
西見よ。
Grab her. The hell, dude? Grab her.
This got me like so tense right now.
He grabbed her, right? No.
みんなの顔をちゃんと見ます。明日からみんなの声もちゃんと聞きます。
Is he? Oh shit!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
冷た。あったかい。
That's crazy that she like dreams in the writing of the words because she can't hear the
Yeah.
words, isn't that? Whenever I see like the koi, I think of like magical properties.
He just woke up. Okay.
She's like, he's real.
いや、俺君に生きるのを手伝ってほしい。
Wow.
人の顔見れなくて
That's
さ。
what it is.
だから実は下向いてると楽。下向いてていいって。
See, like, that's why it makes me think that sometimes we're not supposed to know if we don't know sign language what she's saying, because sometimes it'll show her having a conversation from a side where her hands are blocked. And then also it gives us his interpretation of what she's saying sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I
There's
mean?
just sometimes where I'm like, I want to know what she's saying.
She's just happy the fact that she tried to use sign language to communicate with her. She doesn't care what she calls her.
Yeah. Yep.
That's so cool. Wow.
Damn.
There's like so much more to the world now that he's like opened his eyes to everybody, you know? What was in the dot of light though is what I'm wondering.
There's like two people walking.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Is that supposed to be like him and her?
I don't know. I really like wanted to know if like they were gonna end up together. I guess you don't always have to figure that out, but
Well,
I found that out,
sometimes
but-
it's like better. But like it went through and it showed like his childhood and his. It kind of did have a very circular thing though with him like going to commit suicide and then she ends up being the one who does.
Yeah.
Or tries to, and then he ends up
like-
saving her, but he ends up toppling over. And like as he's like climbing up the wall, like trying to pull her, I'm like, oh, he's gonna freaking flip off this damn wall. And then of course he gets her saved and then goes.
See,
I
for
thought
a
it was gonna be
while,
them both go.
That's what I thought. For a while, I thought they were both gonna like die together. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like, you know,
that was good.
I don't know. There's just some parts of it that I'm like, I guess I'll have to like suspend my disbelief.
Like what?
Like how he like falls into the lake and then there's like blood, you know. So obviously like maybe like internal damage or whatever. And then he's in this coma and then he just wakes up and runs out of the hospital and he's like fine. It just seemed a little weird to me. I don't think that's how that happens.
I mean, I don't know how long he was in. I've seen people who have been injured and in some stuff rip out their IVs and leave the hospital before.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm
And
saying.
I
Like, I guess
know-
like it'd have to be like, we'd have to know like how bad his injuries were and how long his body's had time to heal.
You have to believe in the mystical power of love.
Yeah, it's just weird because I don't know. I guess like I had a family member in a coma for 12 days. There was no.
Well, that
I mean,
was...
it was different.
Yeah.
You know, but I didn't know what his injuries were like.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
we just saw like blood coming out of him.
yeah. But the movie, not the family member, right?
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah.
saw the movie.
Yeah. The way that they had that happen though, where like she woke up from the dream and ran to the fish spot, and then he woke up from the coma and ran to the fish spot. Like,
Yeah.
of course, that's movie magic.
Yeah.
The
Well,
magic
like
of
that.
love.
That's fine. You know, that's whatever. I guess it was just kind of like.
I know one. Like if you're just in a, you can go into diabetic coma. Like there's a lot of different types of comas you can go into, and it's like you can just wake up from a coma. People wake up from a coma after like 40 years or something,
Yeah.
and just like.
Yeah, but like your
No,
body's
never
had
happened.
enough time to heal those.
But
wounds
also
and
those
stuff.
people atrophy, so they couldn't just pop out of bed and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I'm assuming he wasn't in this coma
I mean,
very long.
he seemed somewhat labored.
Yeah.
Like he seemed somewhat like, you know, I don't know. I don't know why that sticks with me so much. Overall, the
mystical
movie was
power of
great.
love.
The movie was great though. The story was great.
I mean, there were things I could nitpick on, like the whole classroom and the teacher teaching and her not having like an aide or something to help her like see
Yeah.
the teacher talking, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or the fact that they did absolutely like jack all for her getting super bullied until like the principal or whatever came in, and then the teacher was like, "You know it was you. Well, what were you doing the whole time, teach?
Yeah.
If you knew and you call the kid out like when stuff's getting real,
Yeah.
what were you doing this whole other time? You weren't doing nothing."
Yeah. Yeah, and then same thing with like how'd the grandma die?
See,
just seemed like-
we did get a little glimpse that was probably going to happen. Either something bad was going to happen with the grandmother or something with, because they kind of buried the lead with her not wearing the ear thing anymore right after that hospital scene.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh wait, maybe it's not bad news for the grandmother or something. You know what I mean? Maybe it's something that had to do with her. You
well,
know?
that's what I was thinking because it seemed like she changed.
They pulled a hoodwink on.
She changed her ear thing right after that. So I thought maybe
That's
like
what
they
I'm
were
saying.
giving
They
her a
put a-
new ear thing.
Or she could hear out of that ear. Like
Yeah.
something happened. They were, I don't know, miracle.
Yeah.
Miracle in modern medicine. You never know what could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked it a lot. It definitely, when she broke down, like telling him she was sorry and all that, like that
Oh,
got me.
yeah.
When she was breaking down to the mom, that
Saying
got
she was
me.
sorry. And then
Yeah.
whenever he was like, in the like towards the beginning when she was like, I'm doing
Doing the best,
the
I,
best
can.
that I can.
That hit me.
That was intense.
That hit me hard. That was one of the most impactful moments.
Yeah.
Like overall, looking at this from like the aspect of like we both struggle with depression and stuff like that. But like social anxiety that I have like really bad. Seeing how he sees the world and like how he copes, and then at the end like just kind of letting it go and kind of like just trying to just see the world and try to like not be afraid, and seeing like all of it drop off at once. Like it was definitely very, very relatable as far as that goes. And like how he was afraid to face the world.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I can also relate in like a sense where I once hung out with a crowd that bullied, and I was involved in bullying, and then whenever I decided that I didn't want to be a part of that crowd anymore and I kind of distanced myself, I became the one that was bullied. Like that really spoke to me because I was like, man, that was like my high school, like my middle school, high school life was that. So that was pretty relatable.
Word.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, we never really saw the sister very much. They talked about the sister a lot for his sister. I thought she was going to play a bigger role. She was going to
be like deaf.
There was going to be something that had to do with her, just because it kind of like, you know, made mention of her. And then we didn't see either of their fathers. So I was wondering if there was going to be something with the story of either of them, or like just something made mention of.
Right.
There were lots of little things that I was like wondering if they were eventually going to come into the story, or the way that they did the like timing. You know, it was like wondering if there was going to be like a bait and switch at some point.
Yeah, there was a lot of like timing things.
But I think it was to like hide the overall story, so you weren't like able to figure it out.
Yeah. What was up with the sister's dream of her with the blood?
I don't know, but right after that's when the grandma died.
I know.
And there was always like, she was always taking pictures of dead creatures and everything all the time.
And then why was her and her mom like taking them off the walls like after it happened?
I don't know if they were saying like that played a part in driving her to like try to commit suicide or something.
I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I don't know. After she did the ear thing too, it seemed like her speech was better. Maybe that's just me like reading into the fact that I thought she could maybe start to hear more.
I mean, she may have been able to hear more with the red thing.
Well, she took it out. That was the thing, is she wasn't wearing it on one side anymore. She was only wearing it on the other. That's why I was like, can she hear out of that ear now, like partially or something?
Well, usually, like if like people who get like those implants, they're only on one side.
Yeah, but she had two.
Like she had two, like of like the little beige
the
ones.
AIDS. No, the red ones. She had two of the red ones.
Oh, she had two of them?
Yeah, and then she stopped wearing the one, and they only had the other one. And she even said when Ueno or whatever ran up and like, she's like, why is she only wearing one? She normally always wears two.
I remember that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I was like, can she like partially hear out of that ear now? Is that why she doesn't need one in that one or something? And then like I said, I felt like her speech was slightly better.
See, I thought when she was like
saying
starting
stuff.
to put her hair up and stuff, that I thought she was becoming like more confident and stuff. But then it was like shortly after that.
Well, because then they had the whole fireworks thing, and then she like awkwardly was like, I'm gonna go study. You know, and I'm like,
Does this mean bye, or does this mean sorry?
I think this was goodbye.
I think this was I'm sorry.
No,
because she does it again later to say I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's like from the chest or something. Hold on, let's look up. No,
That's
this is goodbye. Yeah, so what's... This is I'm sorry. But also, this is all ASL. Is there a difference between... Let me mute this. In case
there's literally a silent voice.
Yeah,
Japanese sign language.
So let's see. I'm muting this so we can't hear this here. That's good. Okay. Study. You know, I'm fine. I can eat sushi. I thought. Friend. He is my friend. She's my friend. Sorry, we're gonna go through all this.
Because what does this mean too?
What is what? Oh, that thing? Well, I think he's going through like ones that they specifically said.
So
let's see you later. See you again. I don't know. They didn't. I don't think they.
You may have skipped
Well,
it.
this is also part 2. So I don't know. Part 4. There's like freaking a million parts to this. Okay. So there's like, I don't know which one it's gonna be. But there's like at least 4 videos that he made of different sign language from it. Plus, I guess JSL is different from ASL, which I assume different languages would be different. But there were symbols that they said that I'm like, that's the same as it is in American Sign Language. You know? Like, because I feel like everybody knows at least a little bit of sign language. I don't know if you learned it in school or just like picking it up over.
Yeah.
Just like I think people know a lot of random words in different foreign languages.
Yeah.
Even if you don't speak Spanish or French or Japanese, like you know certain things.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of, when Yuena at the end, the fact that she said baka in sign language, and like, I still won't be able to say her name. It's like Nishimiya.
Oh, the main girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nishimiya.
I don't know how to say her
She
name.
like gets so excited and like teaches her the proper way to call her a moron.
Yeah, it's like all she wanted to do was.
She's like, just the fact that you're trying to speak sign language,
Yeah.
I don't care what you're saying, like that means a lot to me, you know, type of thing. That was really cool. I don't know. I really liked the movie. It made me cry, of course. Is that what you wanted?
Surprise.
Yeah, is that what you wanted? It did make me cry. I tried not to. I tried. There was probably 2 or 3 times where I got hit pretty good. There was 2 times for sure I got hit real good. And then that last one, I like freaking balled there a little bit. But I was like, keep it together. Hold.
Yeah.
Hold.
Yeah.
But there's quite a bit. It definitely wasn't like Your Name level of like just crushing my soul.
Yeah.
But there's been a couple of movie reactions have really hit me more than anything. Because if you guys haven't watched our Guardians of the Galaxy one, that one I was like a sobbing mess.
Yeah.
That was probably, if you like to see me cry, that was probably the most I've ever cried. What's the one you've cried in the most?
Probably Your Name.
You think so?
Yeah. So overall, between Your Name and Silent Voice, I will say that I like Your Name more. I feel like this one didn't have as much of like a payoff in the end. Like I just don't think. I don't know.
I don't want to compare like necessarily which one I like more because they were so different.
Yeah.
But it's like I get what you're saying with that. I feel like this, I related to this more at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like you did too, because we're not time traveling people that are looking for love or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like this one is a movie, like I'd probably have to watch it again to feel like I fully understood it.
Yeah.
Although
want
I
to watch
think I
it
felt
again.
about that with Your Name too, to go back and get some of the moments.
Yeah, I want to watch Silent Voice again with like the sign language, like, you know, translation on there if possible, and then
Well, there isn't one on Netflix, so.
to like, you know, actually like understand everything, I think. And
I don't think we really missed anything.
and then maybe there's a couple things I just want to know what she
Yeah,
said.
but I'm saying I don't think we missed anything from like the way that it was because of how it seemed like it was written for them to explain the stuff that she was. Because why else
See,
would they repeat what
nothing-
she signed?
Nothing
in the moments
explains
where we needed
this,
to know.
and nothing explains this, and those are two things I'm just like hung up on.
Yeah.
I want to know what they mean.
Well, the main thing that I got from that is she didn't say. She always said like "see you later,"
Yeah,
and that time she didn't.
but I want to know what she said. Did she say
Yeah.
bye, sorry?
It wasn't sorry or bye.
What?
According to
What
this.
was it? You know what I mean? Like, I want to
Yeah.
know what it was. Also, instead of friend, it was this.
No,
Does this mean? What does this mean?
I don't know.
You know, like, so it's just frustrating to me.
I'm not sure. I tried to look it up, but there's 4 videos in order to explain the sign language for that, and I wasn't gonna skip through all that while we're sitting here in the end of the trying to talk about the video. I'm trying to like go back through because there's so much that happened, and that we kind of got glossed over on the whole Shimada thing. Like he came and saved him in the end, and like
Yeah.
it seemed like they focused a lot on Sahara, but Sahara was like such a small part. of what as far as like Sahara was like, oh, I'm gonna learn sign language, and then they were gone, and he wrote the thing on the board about Sahara.
Why did she keep saying she was a coward to him?
I don't know.
See, that part I didn't understand.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wasn't quite sure why they focused so much on that relationship. Like, Kauai, I understand. Ueno, I understand. Sahara, not as much. But, like, Shimada, and I don't even remember the other kid's name. They didn't really talk about him very much at all.
Yeah.
But those were the ones that kind of turned their back on him.
Right.
Which I think would have affected him more because those were, like, his boys. You know what I mean? And they were kind of glossed over. Like, you saw him working at the store one time or whatever, and Ueno was like, oh, I want you guys to be friends again. And then we find out he saved him, you know, from the river. But it's like, I thought Shimada would be a much larger portion of, like, the reconfiguration of his life.
Right. And then there was that whole thing where, like, he was the bully, and then all of a sudden he started getting bullied, and it was, like, the same day that he threw her notebook in the water was the same day that his stuff
like
got thrown
forwarded.
in. And then he got home and he was wet with all the stuff, with the leaves on him, with his notebook, and he got in trouble for bullying.
Yeah. And
it was just kind of like, what's happened? Like, I didn't understand a lot of this. I think is why I'm, like, kind of, like, hesitant on how I feel about this movie.
Well, like, that was what started throwing us off in the beginning, was that one, like, flash forward sequence that kind of, like, had an odd time flow to it, I guess. Which is why it was making me wonder. It gave me Your Name vibes when it did that. The whole, like, wait, did this happen then, or did this happen?
And, like,
like, that was the first time, but I think it's because we went into this, like, having our first anime we watched, our first anime
and the reason
movie
that I, like, compared them is because people did compare these two. If you like one, you'll like the other.
Yeah. Well,
And
I feel
it's
like the
like-
art styles and stuff were
They
similar.
are
It was a
very
love
similar.
story. It
But
was
it's
like, but I feel like they're drastically
they
different
are so
movies.
different. And I mean, like, I mean, whatever, apples and oranges. But it's like, I don't know. Like, I think I need to just rewatch it.
I definitely think this is one of those types of movies.
Because it's
where you
not
rewatch
like,
it to
I'm
be
not like, oh
make
my
sure
gosh.
you get 100% on it.
It was a great story. It was a good movie. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't a great movie. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a great movie. I feel like the story is great, but I feel like they had kind of like a hard time like portraying it or something.
I would say it's great just because I think a movie's got to be pretty great for me to actually be like, I'll watch this again. Like, I would watch this again. If
I
it
just
was
wanna
like a
watch it
good
again
movie,
because
like I would
I
watch
feel
it
like I
again.
believe in the story so much that I want to understand all of it.
I think it had enough moments in it that moved me, that made me like feel a certain type of way, whether happy, sad, whatever, that I'm like, all right.
I say like
I'm in this.
the middle to like halfway to the end, like that part was great. That emotional scene where, you know, she tried killing herself and he was like trying harder, and that whole like beginning part I think was kind of like, what's going on, and then the ending I just don't feel like there was a big enough like payoff. Like, did they end up together? Like, okay, everyone's like faces all of a sudden like don't have X's on them. Why? I don't understand why they all fell off.
Because he like wasn't allowing himself to be hung up by that anymore. He was like afraid of everybody, afraid to look everybody in the eyes. Like, he was just so anxious and depressed and like.
But that, I mean, I guess like being someone that is depressed and anxious, like, it doesn't just work that way.
I mean, it kind of does. Like,
Maybe for you.
I
This
couldn't.
doesn't for me.
Okay, well, I've dealt with social anxiety and panic attacks since I was like 14. I couldn't go to malls for years. I get it, but then you can learn through, especially friends. I've told you. What did I tell you when I used to be able to go to stores with you and I couldn't go to stores by myself? I would say you are my
Strength. You
Strength.
don't have to go through all that.
okay.
But
No, but I'm saying he was with her. He was with his friends. That gives you power to feel like you can conquer that fear.
right.
So when I'm with you, I feel strong. I don't feel afraid. I can face the day. I can look at all these people and not be afraid. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's so relatable to me, that like when he was alone and he felt like the whole world was out to get him and he was so like afraid, and you know what I mean? Like, he couldn't look at anybody. And then as soon as he felt like pushback from Ueno and Shimada, like the exes came, you know what I mean? Or yeah, that's what it was, right? Yeah, the exes came back up. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, I can't do this. I can't face them. I can't. You know what I mean? Like, and it's that easy for that to happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's showing like he's growing through the strength he gets from them.
Yeah.
That's why like he was rolling with his crew and he could hold his head up high. Like his life was better because of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's just how I feel about it, you
Yeah.
know? And it's like, that's why I said it was super relatable. So as far as storyline, like, yeah, there were things that I would like question or whatever. And yeah, it was like a little confusing at parts for me because of like that time swap and whatever. I definitely feel like watching again would maybe like solidify some things for me. But it's like, I liked it a lot. Just knowing what I know about it now, feeling how I feel about it now, I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Word.
But I don't know. I do feel a lot of similarities, I guess, as far as, like I said, art style, music, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Western music, though, in this was different for me.
Yeah, that was really different.
It was it almost felt weird.
Yeah.
Because
I
I was
agree.
like, I don't
like,
know.
I didn't like dislike it. I really liked it.
No, it was like so. I guess I was not.
We don't ever
expecting
hear
it.
that kind of music. In...
Have we ever had an anime that had Western music in it?
I don't think so.
We got like a hip hop beat in Hunter, and I was like, yeah, like I got like, so excited, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like, I can't think of any animes that we've watched at least that have had Western music, and I was like, well, that's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but great movie. But I guess I could see why people would draw parallels between A Silent Voice and Your Name, but like drastically different movies as far as I see, other than like they seem the same.
They
like,
may be by the same, you know.
yeah, like the
companies or
art
whatever.
style seemed very similar, like the
Yeah.
way the coloration was. One last thing I want to talk about beforehand, potentially one last thing I can think of at the moment I want to talk about. When he went to jump off the bridge, why didn't he?
Because the firework.
And that was like the last thing that they
I
had
just
there was the
realized
fireworks.
that. I like that.
Yeah, and like there was a lot of things that I saw like in the in the moments before, because I'm like there was a lot of foreshadowing in this. I feel like because a lot of it was circular.
Yeah.
A lot of it was like stuff coming back, references coming back. What was the flag? Is that just a thing? Like Shimada was carrying a flag in the beginning. Also, what was some of them had the yellow thing? What does that mean?
I don't know.
You know, some people had the like, yellow tag. Is that symbolic of anything? Does that mean anything, or is that just something that's common? I think there was some cultural questions I had that I'm like, is this significant at all, or is this just something that's I'm not used to?
Yeah, it's probably cultural.
That's what I'm assuming. I think that's it though. Because also didn't they show like his mom dead at some point too? Oh, his mom bleeding from the ear.
Yeah, but it looked like her earring got pulled out.
Yeah, but why would that, like, why was that a flashback thing? Because then that also reminded me of later when they show Nishimiya or whatever laying there in the pool of blood. Like, it was the same kind of, like, quick flash of, like...
And May just saw an ear bleeding, and he was like... He may have been reminded of her ear bleeding.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's just what I got from that.
But I'm just saying that's one of the things, like, that is stuck in my head of, like, why was that image there? And, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also thought it was hilarious that she's like, if you try to go jump off the bridge, I'm going to light this money on fire. And he's like, okay, I won't. And she still lights the money on fire. And they're like, all right,
Well,
bridge time.
nah.
You know, like,
yeah.
I just thought that was really funny. But, all right, that's all I got. That's all I can think of for right now.
Yeah.
Good movie. I'm down. What's next? I would like to do some of the Studio Ghibli stuff.
Yeah.
I know that's like really popular stuff. It's something I've always wanted to see. I don't know which all movies are part of Studio Ghibli. I've just always heard the term Studio Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli. Yeah, people
but
wanted us to watch more movies.
I think it's that Ponyo, Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke. I don't know if there's any other ones that are in that. Like how many of them there are.
I like this type of movie, like love and like make you cry, and just any kind of movie that's like that, even if it's live action, is my favorite.
Yeah,
I like crying.
I like love stories, but this
I think that's too why I'm so mad that we don't know if they ended up together.
I like that though.
And I wanted her to say it again. I love you. That's why
I
I'm
did
wondering
want
if
that.
this
I wanted
means
him
I
to
love
say
you.
it. I wanted him to say it.
Does this mean I love you?
I don't think so.
Does this mean
Doesn't this mean I love you?
Does this mean?
Does this mean I love you, or this means I love you, something like that?
I don't know. In American Sign Language, I think it's this. I don't know.
What does this mean?
I don't know.
I think this means I love you, right?
But could this mean like, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have a hooked penis.
No. What the heck?
So anyway, I like love movies because I like The Notebook, stuff like that, and that also had like weird stuff to it.
Mm-hmm. But there's a payoff.
But I like action movies. And
Yes,
stuff too.
people.
Hold on though.
Spoiler alert.
I do like the fact.
Die, but it's got a good payoff.
I do like the fact though that sometimes you don't know the answers at the end of a movie. You get to decide what happens. You decide what you feel is happening next. You have to figure it out on your own. And whatever happens in your heart.
Sometimes I like
what
that.
happens in the movie.
I did not like this in this.
I want to know what was in the eyes. I feel like that explains it. If I could know what was in the eyes.
In the eyes? It's two people walking.
Who? Is it them?
I bet, yeah.
Okay. Well, then does that explain it?
No, not enough.
That's what I'm saying.
Not enough of a payoff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So next movie I think is going to be Captain Marvel because I really want to watch Endgame. And then I think after we do Captain Marvel and Endgame, I want to spam out Star Wars movies.
Okay.
Because I'm like way behind. Y'all don't know. As like a lifetime nerd, if you couldn't tell.
I have to pee, by the way.
I'm super behind in my movies and I want to get into these shows. But it was really good. Next anime movie though, let us know which one you want us to watch. I don't know what order. If we are going to do Studio Ghibli, I don't know if there is a first. I don't know if they're connected at all or just same studio. But let us know.
I don't know. Anyway.
And yeah, tell us stuff in the comments. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.